Conditional formatting is just like it sounds. It's applying formatting to a range of cells that meet a certain condition or criteria that you set. So throughout the range here, if I want to find all those cells that are greater than 500, it's a heck of a lot easier if I can have a format applied to it, like red, because that's going to draw my eye right to it, and I can go, that was simple, there's something that's greater than 500. Then me going to each cell and going, let's see, 200, okay, that's less than 500. In any case, to go ahead and apply the conditional format to this range for anything that's greater than 500, first of all, go ahead and select your range that you want to apply it to. Then come up here on the Home tab to the Styles group, click on Conditional Formatting, and you get a lot of options. Let's go to the first one where we can highlight the cells that are greater than. You could do less than, but let's do greater than the number here. And the default number for me is 1162.5. So all those cells that are greater than 1162.5, which are these two, are going to be formatted with the light red fill with dark red text. But I don't want that number, so I can delete it and do one of two things. I can either select the cell that contains the value that I want it to be greater than, and you can see that greater than 200, it's got it all formatted here, or if there's not a cell that I want to use, I can just simply type in the number here like 500 and boom, there's all the cells that are greater than 500. Now you can change the formatting if you don't like it by clicking on the drop down arrow, and we can choose green. Ooh, that's fancy. Or you can get a bit dangerous and do your own custom format. That's always fun. You got the color, the font style, border fill, even your own number format if you want to apply it. Let me click cancel. I'll go with green, click OK, click off, and there you go. Now if you want to tweak it, make changes to that conditional format for that range, like maybe increase the value from greater than 500 to 600, or even deleting the rule that's been applied to it. Just come up here and click on Conditional Formatting, go down to Manage, and notice that it says Show Formatting Rules for the current selection. Let me click and drag the window out of the way. What's my current selection? Does it contain a rule? Because if it does, it would be listed here. My current selection isn't the range that I applied the conditional formatting rule to, so it's not going to show it here. So let me move this back. I can do one of two things. I can either click on the drop down arrow and choose this worksheet and say, okay, show me all the rules that are applied in this worksheet, the least of which is the one that we just did, which is fine, but you can imagine if you had dozens or hundreds of these rules and you don't want to scroll through them to get to the one that you want to edit. The other option, let me click close, is to choose a cell within the range that has that conditional format applied to, or the rule, and come back up here, click on the drop down arrow, go to Manage, and the cell that we have selected includes this rule. So we can go ahead and select it, delete it, or click on Edit. Let me click Cancel. You can even double click on it. It brings up the same window. And then down here you can change it from greater than to, well, less than, or change the value, or even the format, or you can go to another rule altogether. Let me click and drag and move this up. So what's another rule? We've got the format all cells based on their values, not a value that I set for its criteria, but all the values where the lowest value is going to be in the color orange, and as we go up in value to the highest value is going to be in yellow. Now you can change this and say, fine, let's do an actual number where it has to be 200 as the minimum and the maximum's got to be 500 to go ahead and do this conditional format. And you can change the color. Let me go ahead and change the format style to a 3-color scale, because that way I can really identify with my midpoint with being an actual color, yellow, then going from, the 2-color scale from orange to a lighter shade of orange. So the bottom value is going to be the dark red, then the midpoint yellow, the high point green. Click OK, click OK. There you go. Bottom point, the darkest red, 100. As we go up in value, it goes to an orange color. Then higher than that is yellow, and then we go to the light shaded greens until we hit the highest value, which is the darker green, or the darkest green. Now you can have more than one rule applied to the same range. Let's just go ahead and select the range again, and then come back up here to conditional formatting. Let's do the top bottom, where we can set the top 10. And in fact, you can customize that if you want. Just click on top 10 and say that you just want to go down to the top 2. And the default format is again the light red fill, and there's the top 2 values within that range. Click OK, click off, cool. Let me go ahead and select it, or select a cell within the range, come back up here, Conditional Formatting, down to Manage, and let's get rid of the top two, delete it, so we're just dealing with the one rule. Double click on it to edit it. And so we had the format only cells that contain certain values or greater than a value, and then we changed it to have it based on all values, and then we did the top value, which by the way is right here, because what you select here when it comes to editing is going to take you back to the window here that allows you to tweak it. And so there's the top or bottom. You can change it from top to bottom and change the rank and then set the format. Then you have format only values that are above or below average. Format only unique or duplicates. So if you want the duplicates to stand out and identify those, go ahead and set the format. And then finally, use a formula to determine which cells to format. Now this one is just a bit tricky in that it deals with absolute references. And let me go over this very simplistically. Before I go ahead and type in a function or formula, I rather click cancel and close out and type it in the cell first to see if it's true, to test it, because if it's true, then the formatting is going to be applied. Once I see that it's true, I'll copy the formula and go back to the conditional formatting and paste it there. So let's go ahead and set up a formula, or let's do a function where it has to meet two conditions, not just one. So let's do equals and, there's the and function, checks whether all arguments are true, so I can have as many conditions or arguments. I'm just going to do two. So with it selected, hit the tab key to pop open the function. The first logical argument is going to be what? We're going to say B9 has to be greater than or equal to 200. That's the first argument, and then hit comma on the keyboard so we can go to the next argument and say that B9 has to be less than or equal to 600 and hit enter. Is it true? Yes. So it will apply that format to that cell. But keep in mind that if I select the range of cells to apply that condition to, that it's going to be looking at all of them and seeing whether it's greater than or equal to 200 or less than or equal to 600. Now, there's something that you need to keep in mind about this. In this example, I could be fine with it. In other words, let me go ahead and double click and select the formula, copy it, hit the escape key, select my range, come up here, conditional formatting to manage rules. There's the top two. Guess we couldn't get rid of it here. Let's delete that one. Double click on it to open it back up and say use the formula, copy and paste it in there and set the format to be, let's do font, bold, click OK, and then click OK and click OK, and there you go. Now this seems pretty simplistic in that for me, when I look at it, and let me double click, when I look at the formula, are all the cells that are in bold, are they greater than or equal to 200? Well, yeah, 300 is. But at the same time, is it less than or equal to 600? So if it meets both of those conditions, then it's going to be in bold. That's fine, but if I'm looking at this where I don't want it to update, I always want it to be based upon a cell, because you need to know that whatever formula you enter, Excel is applying it to every single cell you have selected, and so the cell references will dynamically update just as if you copied and pasted the formula into every cell yourself, except conditional formatting does this in the background. So what's happening is that this is dynamic, because if it says to always look at cell B9 and say that B9, this value has to be greater than or equal to 200, then when it looks at this cell, if it doesn't update and it's still looking at B9, this isn't going to be in bold. As I said, this is dynamic, it's not absolute. So when it goes down to the next cell, it says this is not B9, this is B10. So it's going to update and say, is B10 greater than or equal to 200? It's not looking at B9. That's fine if that's what you're looking for. But if you're like, dang it, this doesn't work because I want it to be constant and always looking at this cell, and so it doesn't update and copy and paste the formula, as it were, into each cell in the background when I apply the conditional format, then before you go ahead and take this function and copy it and paste it, you need to go ahead and set your absolute values. And if you don't know anything about absolute references, then you want to watch my training video on it so you have an idea what I'm talking about. Basically, it's adding your dollar signs here to say that, well, if I add a dollar sign in front of B, it means to not go outside of the B column. So it'll go ahead and go row by row, but once it hits the last row, it's not going to go into the next column, column C, and update it there. So let me keep it simple. Let me just add $signs to the first logical argument and also add $signs to the second logical argument, which is clicking in front of the B9 reference and hitting the F4 key on the keyboard, and it adds $signs for me, then hitting enter, and then going ahead and double clicking on it to select it and then copy it, hit escape, and then select my range here. And then coming back up, clicking on Conditional Format to manage rules, double click, and let's go ahead and paste it and click Okie dokie, click Okie dokie. And now you can see every cell is bold because when you look at this, double click, it's always going to be looking at B9, which it meets that condition. It's always going to be less than or equal to that. And so everything's going to be in bold because the absolute value says don't update it and move from one cell to the next. More so, let's get rid of the equal to 200, but it's got to be greater than, hit enter, it's going to be false. So if I double click and select the formula and copy it, hit enter, and of course select my range or cell within the range, click on Conditional Formatting to manage rules, double click, let's paste it, and click OK, click OK. Nothing is going to be applied to it because it's false. Again, double clicking on it, it's not updating the formula dynamically because we put a stop to the $signs. So keep that in mind. If you do want to have it before we added the $signs where you just selected the cell and say, okay, start at this point and it's got to be greater than or equal to this number, then it'll automatically move around and update it, the cell reference, from one cell to the next. This puts a stop to it so it focuses on one cell, or you can focus on one column, as you recall in the absolute mixed values training video, or you can go ahead and say just stay within the row and add the $sign there so it doesn't update that. As a side note, as I mentioned in an earlier training video, you can sort your range here of data. Like if I want to sort it alphabetically instead of by January being the first month, I can click anywhere within it and then come up here on the Home tab to the Editing group and click on Sort and Filter. Let's do a custom sort here because we don't have column headers or labels for the data range. So we can sort by, well, the total cells is going to be for that column. Column B is for the one that doesn't have a label there. And you can do it A to Z and click OK, and there it goes with the A's. Of course, that's not how we do it. We do it with January 1st, although that doesn't begin with the letter A. Let me go ahead and undo that. Basically, what I wanted to show you after I did the quick review here is you can sort by color. So when I have conditional formatting applied to a range of cells here, and I'm like, you know what? I want to be able to keep all the reds together and then the blues. Go ahead and select a cell within the range, and let's come back up here to Sort and Filter and do a custom sort. And let's sort column B. And within column B, I want to do it by cell color, and it gives me the colors that are available from the conditional formatting that I applied to it. And it's going to be blue or hot pink. So let's have hot pink on top, and then after it sorts it, so it's got all the pinks together and then the blues, let's add another level. So within the pinks, let's go ahead and I'm going to do the same column. Within the pinks, let's go from the smallest to the largest. And then also within the blue, it'll be from the smallest to the largest, or we can go largest to smallest and click Okie dokie, and there you go. So it grouped all the pinks together, and it went from the largest within the group to the smallest, and then the blues largest to smallest. And then finally, you can actually filter by color for the conditional format. Just click anywhere within your mini database, then come up here on the Home tab to the Editing group, click on Sort and Filter, and do Filter, adds the two drop-down arrows for my mini database. Click on the drop-down arrow. We want to filter by color. Let's do hot pink. Cool. And then to go ahead and clear it, click on the drop-down arrow to clear filter from column B. And then, of course, to get rid of the drop-down arrows, back to the Home tab, Editing, click on Sort and Filter, and deselect Filter, and we're back to where we were before we applied the filter. Thanks for watching. Hey, as a quick reminder, if you like my video, please give it a thumbs up. You can also click on me and subscribe to my channel to get notified of the latest videos. And for great specials on my products, please see the description below this video.